Hey, welcome back.
The Wasteland fucking sucked!
Oh.
That book sucked!
Okay.
And it sucked a lot.
Apparently, I'm not even gonna bother playing this game because Justin has something to get off his chest.
No! Play the game.
Okay.
I'm gonna rant.
Okay, I'm not entirely sure what we're gonna be doing here.
You're gonna sit here and listen. I'm not talking to you, Harry. I'm talking about you at home. You're gonna listen to my rant. I didn't very much care for that book, Harry. I don't know if I've made my point clear enough yet.
I'm sure. You sure? It sounds like you're a big fan. I don't know.
I can understand if somebody would think that, but no. No, I am not. Okay. I read all through the third book. I just finished it up the other day. I've been reading it really slow because I just haven't had the motivation to kind of keep going through it.
Uh-huh.
Normally I tear through a novel, especially like a 400-page novel within like a week and a half, depending on like my schedule. It took me like, I don't even remember when I started reading The Wasteland. Like I started reading another book while reading this just because I kept getting sick of it. But man, I didn't. Okay, one, I did not like where it ended. I don't want to get too spoilery, but
look, The Wasteland is pretty old as a book. I think it's okay for you to say where it ends.
Okay, with how it ends really bothered me because they get. Okay, for anyone who doesn't know The Wasteland and who doesn't care about spoilers,
I'm gonna do this one.
A big part of the book is that they need to get. They're basically really worried about this fucking train called Blaine the Mono, short for monorail.
Yeah.
And they're really worried that it's going to hurt them somehow because this is Stephen King's imagination, and he thinks that he can make anything scary. Yeah. I mean, like, let's be honest, the man wrote Children of the Corn, and he tried to make the corn scary.
Oh, yeah. I mean, to be fair, I thought the corn was kind of scary.
You're afraid of corn?
No, I'm afraid of the idea of what's in the corn.
See, no. Like, this isn't like that Twilight Zone episode where it's like, I'm going to send you to the cornfield and it's all ambiguous and shit as to what's in the cornfield.
I don't know. I feel like it kind of is.
No, because he was, like, literally trying to make the corn seem scary, not the idea of, like, just a location that could do something bad to you.
Okay.
So I didn't like it.
Okay.
They find out that the only way to get past this wasteland is they actually have to ride Blaine the Mono. That's the big thing. They have to deal with this literal Ozzy Osbourne crazy train.
Yeah, actually, that's a good description.
Yeah, and it's like, they're very nervous about it because they're like, this could go horrible, like, who knows what this thing's gonna do.
Because it's essentially sentient.
Yeah, it's sentient. Like, Blaine is is an AI effectively that's in control of this train, and it's an AI that's going a little bit, bug nuts.
Quick question.
Quick answer.
If I go this way, do I have to go all the way over here, or can I backtrack?
You can backtrack. You could get the thing, I think, and then head back.
Okay, so it's just that shit.
And I think you can click back on the door, can't you?
Nope.
Well, no, if you click on the door on the map screen down there.
Nope.
Oh. I thought you could. Didn't we do that at one point?
Wait, what? Is it this?
Maybe. Probably the holy water.
No.
Alright, well...
I give up. No,
yeah, fuck
goodbye.
it.
Okay, that's too bad. I thought I could go back.
Use a pitchfork on it. So, yeah, okay. So they need to get it across from it, and... there's this whole big thing where, like, riddles play a key in the story. Which is fine.
It is fine.
And I actually like that part where, because it was built up throughout the entire book, and you didn't quite know how they were going to be important, so it kind of left you guessing. You're like, all right, this is clearly a key theme. Where are they going with it? Where's King going with it? I'm like, all right, fine. I'm with you there. So they get on the fucking train at the end of the book.
Yeah.
And it basically lets the adventurers on because they're the first people to actually interested in it by telling it riddles. I'm like, all right, cool, I'm down with this. But they get on the train, they're on it, and they're like, the train's basically like, I'm gonna destroy the city I'm from.
Yeah, like nukes them.
Yeah. myself and all of you together, because I've run so many diagnostic tests on myself. There's no way to repair me. I'm screwed. I'd rather just destroy myself at this point than do anything else.
Yeah.
And so the gunslinger, being the huge badass that he is like, well, F that noise. If you decide to kill us, then you won't get any more riddles, and I'm not. And if you're just planning on doing that, I'm not going to tell you anything now, because there's no point. So they basically set it up to where it's like, oh, we're gonna have a riddle contest.
Yeah.
If
exactly.
you can't solve it, if Blaine can't solve these riddles by the time they get to their final destination, they get to live. And if he can't solve all their riddles by the time they get there, then they die. And it's like, all right, so they set the terms, and then the book just ends.
Yes.
And I'm like,
because it was all the build up to getting there.
But the thing was, it wasn't. I get the build up. It was not satisfying for the end of a book. End of a chapter, yes. End of a book, no, because one, maybe when you were reading the book back in the day, you can kind of go like, well, maybe something else is gonna happen, but anybody who's like even a little bit genre savvy knows they're gonna get out of that situation.
Why? Because they can. There's other. They've already introduced that there are other dimensions.
There are,
and that there are other stories.
There are other stories, but just, I don't think that you could have in that situation where it's like, okay, the next book opens up and it's going to be a completely different situation going on, where it's like, well, there's like this big option C that came out of nowhere, and doing something like that could feel kind of cheap, and King is a better writer than that.
That's really weird that you're like, King's so good of a writer that I can completely predict what he's going to do.
Well, no, the thing is I've read a number of Stephen King books in my day, and I've kind of gotten a sense of like his particular style and so on and so forth. I could definitely see him going like, it'd be really, really great to have these characters in this kind of tense situation, kind of put them to the mental test, rather than just going like, all right, they're just gonna bail at the first stop before the train could do anything, and then it's like, well, they just gotta cross the wasteland by themselves.
Okay.
Or like I don't see, or like someone just comes and saves them out of nowhere or something like that. Like, I can't see King making that kind of decision, and if he did, it would have to be something like, I just really am not thinking of.
Okay. That
makes total sense based on something else he's already done. Wow, that guy got messed up. But if it would have ended differently, then, like, if it would have ended as they got on the train and then it started with that tense situation later on, that would have been a good start.
Well, the thing is, you didn't like any of the rest of the book, so that kind of like, oh, okay, so now you don't like that part of the book either.
Well, I didn't like the books all that much, because while I think Stephen King is a good... Okay. I think King is not a bad writer. I don't think he's a great storyteller sometimes. Like, I don't really feel like the way that this book series is told is really all that good. Because, like, it's hard to get excited for things or try to figure out what's coming around, like, the corner, or what is and isn't important at any one particular time. Like,
I agree. I actually agree completely.
Yeah.
That was part of the problem with the book for me, is it just, the way the story was laid out was too much anticipating the finished story.
Yeah.
And so he's like, well, if everyone reads everything, then we're fine. And I'm like, it doesn't, some of these books don't go anywhere.
Yeah.
They're all character establishing, which isn't necessarily bad, but it feels like I need to be anticipating when something actually happens. Like, if you're going to spend an entire book telling me who's going to be in the book,
yeah,
like, you better be really somehow amazingly compelling so that I actually read the next book where they actually do anything.
Yeah, and I mean that was you're 100% right. That was my big problem with the second book, which I've talked about before, was that like all it pretty much did was establish like the new characters and go like, well, they're gonna go on their journey. And I mean, like when the book started, I was actually kind of excited because they established the idea that like because events had changed.
Yeah.
That this was affecting the gunslinger mentally. Like, in one regard, things were going fine, and in one world, things worked fine. In another world, they fell to pieces, and both of them were kind of, like, coexisting. And that was, like, a big problem, because it was driving him and the kid from the first book, Jake, nuts. And I actually like that. I'm like, okay, so past events having an effect on present events... That kind of makes sense, so on and so forth, and I was fine with that. I genuinely thought that was a good storyline to start everything out with. But I wasn't a big fan of how everything else kind of got carried out with that, because one, you know, Jake was in the first book.
Yeah.
And he didn't have a major part in it. Like, he was there for most of the book, but what role he really played wasn't big or immediately important.
Like it doesn't really explain why Jake is all that important.
Yeah, and then this book happens and it's like, yay, Jake joins the crew. It's like, cool, what does he do? Well, he gets captured really well. Like, he's really good at that. And what else?
Oh, fuck.
Well, he's part of the quartet. Oh, cool. Are you going to finally find out what quartet is?
Not till in the next one!
No, it's in there, and it's stupid. What his explanation is like, okay, so Ka is basically destiny, and a quartet is a group of destined people that have to do a thing. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Did you just, like, get this off of tvtropes.com? Like...
Well, I mean, the thing is...
Man, your people are hungry.
I know, this is bullshit.
And you're running a little low on food there.
And torches. I guess I should have been more well prepared, but it felt like I was doing okay.
Well, I just kind of started yelling and ranting.
No,
there.
It's fine.
But no, it was just
quest location room.
Yeah, there you go. It was just really like, as I'm reading it, I'm like, a lot of the answers for things felt extremely unsatisfying because they were like kind of blanketed over. There was a lot of don't go near that.
I mean, with a better group, I would.
Yeah, with a better group, you could probably deal with it.
I think I'm done.
This is the last part of it, yeah.
Well, I might as well camp so that I can get rid of my disease.
That's a good idea. But yeah, I found it incredibly...
Gathered close in
twilight.
It's unsatisfying. I totally understand.
Is. Like, I wasn't happy with anything that... With where the story's going. I don't find the characters all that compelling. And
he can't heal himself? Come on.
Wait. That's... Yeah.
Alright, good.
He got rid of scurvy.
And I might as well reduce stress.
Yeah. But yeah, I was just unhappy with how everything did it. Because it really... I wanted to like this series, but... You know, as I'm reading it, I'm like, these characters don't feel like they have any purpose or point to this story. No one really, like... Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah. Well. No one really, like...
The light.
We're told that they care about the tower and everything like that, but it really doesn't feel like they have a reason to.
Yeah, no, I totally understand. And like I said, I've said this since the beginning. Oh, you just need to read the next book. And the truth is, you do. You need to look at this as like the longest fucking book you've ever read.
Yeah.
One book. And if you do it that way, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's not like life-alteringly good or anything, but it's an okay story. I really like the next book because it's almost all flat. They deal with Blaine,
Yeah.
And then there's almost all flashback where you understand where Roland came from. It starts with him as a kid.
Yeah.
And how he got to where he is now. Why that wasn't the second book, I'm not entirely sure.
Well, because that feels like if it would have been that with an intermix of the new characters coming in,
yeah,
I would have been like, cool, awesome. But like, I'm reading these books, and I'm like,
wow, that's really good.
That is good.
Not so good.
Wait.
But that's good.
Oh, I thought that said necrophilia for a second. I was like,
Whoa, now.
whoa!
When in town, we'll only heal stress at the graveyard.
I feel uncomfortable.
You know what? We'll keep talking about this in the next episode. I was actually really happy. That was nice. It was a medium, but
nice.
it just blew right through it.
Yeah.
It was nice, and now I have my good team available again. I might shoot out to another veteran mission when you go. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll check it out. But, all right, I had a lot of fun, and I agree with you. The Dark Tower series, it's good. I think it's good, as in the whole series, but I can understand frustration with each one. I was reading it on my commute, and so I was just like, boom, 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 boom. I just read right through all that. And I was like, that's an okay story.
Yeah.
But each individual book, a lot of them lagged pretty hard.
Yeah. And I think that's really what it came down to for me, too, is that, like, each book was dedicated to, like, one specific thing, and it was okay, but, like, it feels like an entire, like, every book is just a bridge novel.
Yep.
And that's what I don't really like, because it's like, oh, I really like that one part of book 2, but the rest of book 2 is just explanation as to why this all happens. It's like, after a while, I just, I couldn't care less.
I got you. No, I totally understand. Okay. Well, we'll talk about books more. We have some other interesting ideas about what makes a good book.
Yes.
Tangentially on this. And that was really, it was fun. We were able to talk, and I was just like, I'm just going to go ahead and beat this dungeon like you do.
Yeah. Actually, when you were like, I think we're done, and I was like, I don't know, how much time have we... I have just been talking the entire time.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Because I was able to, I didn't need to ask anything. Nothing dangerous happened.
Yeah.
I was like, whatever, just blowing through this dungeon. No big deal.
I distinctly remember a trap at one point.
Yeah,
the rest of it is just
me
seeing red.
All right. If you enjoyed this as much as we did, leave us a comment and a like. We have a new fan.
We have a new
They're
fan!
very excited about our ability to complete this game.
Oh, yeah.
And so if you check out the comments on some previous videos, you might be in for a treat, just like we were when we woke up in the morning and saw them.
Made me so happy.
All right, we will see you next time.
See you next time.